let's start. So good, great. So let's start with the session. So good morning, afternoon, evening. So depending on the location you are in. So and thanks a lot for joining the session. Thanks a lot for joining the Scrum Day Vietnam, and thanks a lot to the entire organizing team. So we are going to talk about the theme of the event is Scrum and. So even I was thinking about what to do, what I should pick up. So I thought let's pick up the leadership part of it. Right. Let's explore whether do we need any leadership in Scrum or not, and how does it impact the overall Scrum implementation. So that is the idea. Right. So let's move on. And am I audible? Okay. Yep. Anyone? Oh, good. Great. So as always, so whenever there is a talk, maybe event, meetup, or anything, so we always start with a more of a self promotion. So this is about me, myself, Sanjay Saini, approximately 25 years in IT industry, worked across different domains. Wanted to do something different. I wanted to be a fighter pilot, but I ended up doing something else. I'm associated with Scrum.org. I'm a professional Scrum trainer from with Scrum.org, and I'm in a found. I have a small company named Agile Wow, and this is something similar to Gunther. I am the only member of that company. So I am in professional training, coaching, and consulting. One thing I always do, or I always recall, I don't know whether I read it somewhere, that it doesn't matter where do you go, right? But the collective intelligence of all the people sitting in that room will always be more than the presenter, somebody who is actually presenting that session. So for that reason, I am also here to learn something new from you all. Right? Though we have a 45-minute slot, I'm not sure whether we need all the entire 45 minutes or not, but let's see how it goes. Right? So there are people who are joining in between, so I can keep admitting them. Our organizer has abandoned us. Okay, so let's move on. Let's move on to the first item. What do you think about this? And I would request, if possible, please enable your video, enable your audio. So don't be so silent. You are allowed to make noise as much as you can. Right? I agree that we may or may not have that in a professional, typical office setup in our home. That is completely fine. It doesn't matter how it is. Even if you have your family member, your spouse, your kids moving around, that's okay. Right? We when we started it, when this pandemic started in March, April, when we started working from home, we never thought that we are going to be in this situation. We may or not have that setup. And same with me. I'm sitting in a corner of my house. Right? So don't worry about it. Just enable your video, enable your audio. Let's try to make it as interactive as we can. Right? So what do you think about this? And I'm going to talk as less as I can. I would expect you guys to talk a lot. Do we really need leadership in Scrum?
Yeah, at the beginning, I think the leadership is very important because this will help the team to work together and make the team the team. And after that, I think leadership is also important to keep the team keep moving and work together to have one goal. So I think leadership is important.
Okay, good. That's cool. But if you look at the Scrum, so I think we all know there are three roles in it, right? Product owner, Scrum master, and development team, right? Don't worry, I'm not going to teach you about Scrum. I'm not going to teach you about these three roles, right? But what do you think? Do these three roles are involved in any kind of leadership? Anyone? Maybe PT, J, Michael, who just joined.
Yeah, I can talk. I don't know if you can see me or not.
Yeah, we can see you, sir.
Okay.
You are good. You're looking
My
good.
my take on it is those three people. You need leadership, but you don't necessarily need those specific people to be the leaders. Anybody in the
Okay.
team can do the leadership.
Okay, good. But looking at these three roles defined by Scrum framework, do you see any association between these three roles and the leadership? What do you think the product owner has to do with the leadership, or maybe Scrum Master or the development team? Anyone? Geoff, PT?
Uh, can
Yeah,
I
yeah,
answer? Yeah,
yeah, yeah. Sure, sure, sure. We can't see you.
yeah, yeah. Uh, in my opinion, I think everyone in it means pre-run can be a leadership. Example for product owner can list the product backlog product, and for
Hmm.
the Scrum Master can list about the process and help the team do the writing, and for the development team also can
Hmm.
lead to make the product
Hmm.
the best products. Yeah.
Yep.
So I
Yeah.
any role can be a leadership in the room.
Okay. Good. Good. Anyone else? Yeah, Mustafa, you want to say something?
Yeah, yeah. So I think that, you don't need a designation leader to
Uh-huh.
be a leader. Anybody
Uh,
can be a leader anytime. And I think the main job of a leader is just to create other leaders. That's it.
mhm.
Nothing
Yeah.
more, nothing less.
Yeah, yeah, that's good. That's good. Very good. And thanks to all of you. So I agree with you. I agree with all of you. And just to add on whatever you guys said, right? If you look at the product owner is there for the product leadership, right? If you look at the development team is there for the technology leadership. If you look at the Scrum Master is there for the process leadership, the overall Scrum implementation of it. So there is an inbuilt leadership within the Scrum framework or within the roles defined in the Scrum framework, right? If and I don't want to get into the detail of what the product leadership is, but maybe very specific to it, right? If you look at the product leadership, right? Product as a product owner, the product owner is there to lead on the what and why of the product. That's one of the key leadership skills required from that product owner. A product owner is there to lead on the collecting the feedback from the stakeholder from the market. A product owner is there to lead the development team in building the right product, right? And I don't want to get into detail. There may be in a list of it, right? And I agree with you, but I just want to keep it short and so that we can come to the other things, right? That's about the product owner. Think about the development team who is responsible for the technology leadership. They are the one who are responsible for the quality. They are the one who leads in the quality part. They are the one who are there to lead in the technology innovation. They are the one who lead in growing their cross functional skill. They are the leaders. That's what is expected from them. And same goes for the Scrum Master. Scrum Master is there to lead the overall Scrum implementation in the organization. Scrum Master is there to lead the empiricism within the organization, ensuring the transparency. Scrum Master is there to lead the team in growing their autonomy, ownership, and accountability. So if you ask me, I think leadership is built within these three Scrum roles. Now the point is, if we have these three Scrum roles and they are leading in their respective area, is it good enough? Or do we need something beyond the Scrum? Anyone would like to talk about what do we need, or is it good enough to have just these three leaderships within a Scrum environment for an organization to be successful, or do we need something beyond it?
Yeah, I would like more our local team to say, but I could also jump in. So I would say other than the leadership inside the Scrum, also we need the leadership in the organization, just like the executive or another kind of the stakeholder, because their role for supporting the Scrum and also their leadership to helping the Scrum team to remove the impediment is also important to making the Scrum success.
Okay, great, great. Yeah, Mustafa, you are back.
Yeah. So I think that, you need an environment for Scrum to
Yeah,
succeed. And we need not leaders, but we need people to create that environment for the team
yeah,
to succeed. So it's like a plant, right? You grow
yeah,
the seed of Scrum and you need somebody to come and water it, somebody to
yeah,
give it sunlight. So I think those
yeah,
are the leaders or kind of leaders that Scrum needs to help grow this plant.
I completely agree with both of you, and that's what we need, and that's what I am also trying to do. Right? We need an environment. We need an environment around that Scrum team to 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 help them grow that inbuilt leadership. The inbuilt leadership of product owner, Scrum Master, and the technology or the development team. We need the environment for them to grow. And again, I'm not sure what should we call that leadership. It may be the simple the leadership, it may be strategy leadership, maybe the business leadership, or whatever you want to call it. But we need that leadership, which can help the entire Scrum team, or may and don't it may not be just one team. There may be multiple teams working in an organization, maybe 100 of Scrum team. Right, we can say that, oh, even if you have 100 team, they can work independently, they can grow themselves. That is okay, but I somehow I feel that we still need an outer boundary around them, within which they have to grow, and that we call it as a leadership, right? And those leaders may be your CEO, CTO, CIO, or maybe someone, anyone, right? Who has to make sure that the Scrum team as in a group, they are growing. Right. So what do we expect from them? What is the expectation from that leadership team? Right. Anyone in this group who is at who is at a position who is leading in a group of Scrum teams or leading in an agile transformation in their organization? Anyone in this group? You can use chat window if you want. Yeah. Yeah. Hey, Michael. Yeah, I chat with you too. Good.
Myself.
Great. Yeah, Michael. Sorry.
Yes, transformation.
Oh, good. Great. So there are a few things I would like to share, and that's based on my experience, based on my reading different books, or watch or listening to different people, right? And maybe watching some YouTube videos and other blogs also, right? The very first thing you may have seen yourself, a CIO, CTO, maybe a senior person goes to a 2 days training, a conference, or an event, maybe in a business event, comes back, and where he or she heard about a concept called a thing called as an agile, comes back to the office next Monday and send out an email to the entire organization. Oh, what? Hey, you know what? We are going agile starting today. Fasten your seatbelt. Everyone is going to be agile. Hey, what does it mean? Hey, it doesn't matter what. We just have to change the way we are working. There is a new stuff coming in the market, right? And we have to start following it. Right? People, your entire organization, everyone get confused. Hey, what is this? This seems like more of a new fad word from the CEO, and it may fade away maybe in a month, 2 months, or 3 months. People don't feel connected to that initiative at all. As a leader, your job is to to help them understand the why behind it. Why are we doing it? What does it mean? Is it because of some competitor pressure? Is it because of the market need? Is it because of launching in a new product line? What problem we are trying to solve? We should tell, or we should help our team or employees understand the why behind it. That's the very first thing you should do. Why we are going this agile transformation way. Believe it or not, if you go to any organization, or not any organization, sorry, maybe most of the organization who are going through this transformation journey, and if you go to speak to the ground staff, people who are actually doing those stuff, they may or may not have that much idea why we are doing it. The why part is missing. That's the very first thing you as a leader should do. Keep talking about the why, keep giving them the vision, keep giving them the purpose, and they will feel connected to that. That's one. The second step, right? Oh, we are going since we have started this agile journey, we are, let's say we are going to follow Scrum. What does it mean? Hey, we are going to have a Scrum Master, product owner, and development team. Then what my role is in it? Right, I may be a middle manager, I may be a project manager or delivery manager, but I have and there will always be people who will tell you that, hey, we don't there is nothing called manager in Scrum. And this is not specific to Scrum, maybe with any other method or framework also, right? And this is not for this agile transformation. It has happened even when we move from those machine or industrial stuff to the computer industry. People always start feeling unsecured. And the moment I, as an individual, start feeling unsecured about my job, I will do my best to abandon or discourage this initiative. On a face, I may be supporting this, but at the back of it, I will try to discourage it. Right? That's where you as a leader has to make sure that your people are feeling safe. That's I think I was in a different session where we were talking about the safety part of it. Right? That's where you as a leader has to make sure your team, your employee are feeling safe. Okay? Whatever we are doing, it is not going to impact their job. They are not going to lose their job. Right? I think one of the organization, I don't remember the name, it may be a bank also. So the CEO sent out the email that your job is safe, your role may not be. Right? You are not going to lose your job, but the way you are doing your work now, that may change. You may not be doing the same thing. And that's what you think about yourself or me. That's what I, as an individual, I need. If I have an assurity that my job is safe, I will give my best to make it a success. That's the second thing you should do. And please not raise your hand, even just unmute yourself, come on camera and talk about it wherever you want to add something into any of the slide. Right? Moving on. What do you think about this? Anyone would like to talk about it? Agility can't be planned. It's a journey.
Yeah. There's no end stage for the agility. Just like that, yeah, a project, you could say that, yeah, phase 1 is ended, phase 2 is ended, yeah, kind of that. But agility cannot be planned, and also it's a journey. Just like which, yeah, how rich you are. If I'm as rich as I'm the most rich in the country in Vietnam, and then people say, how about are you the richest in the Europe? And then yeah, in the whole world, yeah, agility is just like which, yeah, a kind of journey that you would never finding the endless point, but you could seeing that, yeah, it inside the journey there is something changes and something is happening.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. And the problem is there are executives who come up with a plan. Right? They set in a target date. Hey, by 31st December 2020, everyone is going to be agile. Right? And you may have seen it. Even the big IT consulting company doing these things. The moment you put up that deadline, it actually brings you back the old ways of thinking. You again goes back into those deadline, schedule, milestone. Right? We should go back to the reason we started this agile journey. Right? This is for fighting or managing the complexity, and complexity is never going to come down. It will always be increasing. Right? And I always compare agility with your fitness. Right? So we cannot say, I really doubt we at any given point of time or day we can say that I'm 100% fit. That may not be. I'm really good. I'm fit, but I want to make myself better. So agility is more about continuous improvement. Right? I would say a continuous flux, maybe continuous response, being responsive, being adaptive, being trying to beat yourself. How good you are. How can you improve on a day-to-day basis? And that's what you as a leader should do. Avoid setting up those deadlines. That doesn't work. Okay, move on. I think this is going to be interesting one.
I can give you my opinion.
Yeah, sure, sir. Go ahead.
So I think that I do feel that it's better if you can do, the more you can do in-house, the better. But at least at the beginning, you need some people to help share it. Now, it could be other people from within your own company, from other, if it's in a global company like ours. But if you just try to do it based on reading books and looking at videos, I think it's going to be really tough.
Yeah, I agree. And thanks to you folk for enabling your video. Okay, you go on. Okay, just to add on top of you, yeah, Mustafa.
Yeah. So I think that the management team who's actually wanting us to be agile, they should first do it themselves. So they should practice agile themselves. So how many CXO teams are actually doing stand-ups? How many of them have a backlog? None, I would say. So the change comes from within first, and then you ask others to change.
Yeah, that's good. That's true. That's true. Right. And just to add on to whatever you both of you said, so that the next thing we as a CEO or as a leader does is we are going to agile way. What do we need? We need some consultant. We go and hire some new coaches, consultant. And with due respect to all those people, I myself is in a coach, by the way. Right. We hire those people and we throw that and we put in a KRAs for them. You guys have to make us agile. We are not going to do anything. We will still continue doing the same way now, but you guys have to make us agile. This is something similar to buying in a gym membership and sending someone else on behalf of you and then assuming that I'm going to get fit. That never happens. Right? If you really want to change the way you are working, if you really want to be an agile, right, you have to practice it yourself. And it's everyday job. Right? And I agree with you. So definitely we need those people for the initial hand holding. No doubt about it. Right? But just putting everything on their head, hey, they are the one only who can do, that doesn't work. You have to change your behavior, you have to change your habits, you have to change your environment, and getting their help is always good. Nothing wrong in it. You cannot be an agile just, or you cannot be in a fit just by looking at those books or maybe watching YouTube video. That doesn't work. You need someone, an instructor, maybe gym a coach who can help you understand it. Right? Okay, moving on. Great. That's the other thing. So we have we are going to follow this agile and scrum. What do we need? Hey, we have to do those daily scrum. We have to do that 2 weeks sprint and the sprint planning. We have to follow those tools. Let's borrow Jira, TFS, and all Confluence and all those great tools. And just by using those tools, we will become agile. No, I'm not saying those tools are not required. Those tools are required, and they are really good tool. Then they will help you. But it's more about the people of your organization. They are the one who are going to make you agile. They are the one who are going to change their habits, their behavior. They are the one who are going to use those tools. They are the one who are going to use those practices. So you have to work with your people, your employees, your team members. They will help you in becoming agile, right? The focus should be on the people, and those people will take care of rest of the stuff, right? The other thing is, yep. So there are a few cases where people, the executive, what they do is they start their agile journey in an isolation. What does it mean? We have a 10 department, and all 10 departments are interlinked. But what we will do, we will follow some of the practice in just one department. Actually, that doesn't work. I have seen it multiple times. We tried, and take a simple example. We may have a pre-sales, sales, maybe initial analysis, or maybe business department, then the development, then the deployment, integration, all that stuff. What we do, we start following those so-called sprint within the development, right? The upfront and the upstream and the downstream are still traditional waterfall, right? It doesn't work that way. If as an executive, as a leader, you want to do something, you want to change the ways of working, you have to do it from end to end. Find out in a product line, or maybe you may have heard about that concept of a value stream. Find out in a value stream which cuts across all those department or business unit. And if you really want to do an experiment, do it for the entire value stream, not just a part of it. That may not be the right. Good. Moving on. What do you think about this? Anyone would like to comment on it? What does this picture tells you?
So I think that,
Yeah.
the environment around you will change or will be very volatile, but I think you stand your ground and you stay firm.
Yep, yep, yep. That's good. Let me look at it. Somebody has sent a message. Hey, Michael said that don't give up. Yep, I think that's true. So as a leader, when you start your journey, you may be in you are already on that journey, and there will always be situation where when something is going to be wrong, and there will always be people around you who will start preaching you, who will start telling, hey, this is not the way we should work. This new ways of working is not working. Let's go back to our old ways. Let's get into that command and control. Let's get into those policies, those processes. Right? There will always be those cases. That's where, as an executive, as a leader, your job is to hold the space. let's be firm there. No, that's okay. This is okay. I think whatever challenge we have, let's face it. Let's solve it. Let's solve it with the new ways of working rather than going back to our old ways. If we don't if we go back to the old ways now, then we are not going to come back here again. Right? I think I heard this from that book. If for those who have not read it, the book name is Reinventing Organization. It's a really great book. That's where you as a leader, your job is to hold the space. Right? You have to make sure that people understand, and and believe it or not, there will be always be so many maybe your co-workers, your business unit head, your steering committee member who will not be comfortable with that. They still want to go back to the old ways. So you as a leader has to make sure that we have to move forward. We are not going back. That's what the hold the space is. Okay. Here the next one. No political agenda. Okay. What do you think about it?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
Yeah, I would like to share my opinion. Yeah. Uh, for this sentence, I think um, when we work with other members, the situation sometimes cannot go same with our expectation. It means the uncomfortable situation occur. So we should aware this situation, and we can control the emotion to
Mm.
control our behavior, to help the behavior between the people and people more better. Yeah, this is my thinking. It means we
That's true.
should,
That's
yeah, the mindful
uh,
when
uh-huh.
we
Sorry, go ahead.
with the other.
Yep, that's true. That's good, and that's what the condition is. So you have to get into those uncomfortable situation. You have to face people's right. They may or may not be interested in it. They may have a different opinion, but you have to get into it. Right, and think about somebody who is working in your organization for the last 30 years. He or she has a standard ways of working. Now just after attending 2 days training, you are asking him or her to change the ways of working. Hey, earlier it was in a waterfall. Earlier you were using your right hand, now you have to start using your left hand. It is not easy. It's really difficult.
Yes,
Right.
idea about that. Let
Yeah.
people arrive in left
Right.
hand, and now
Right.
you try
Okay.
them with right hand, and it's not an easy at all. But as a leader,
Yeah.
so many times you have to face with this situation. Yes,
Mhm.
it just agree, totally agree.
Yeah. I agree. So and think about somebody. Hey, I have worked with this organization for the last 30 years. I have just 2 years to retire, right? And now you want me to learn something new. I don't want to do it. I want to spend my time in a comfortable way, right? So there will always be situation like this. So you have to ready for that. So be aware of it, right? The next one, it doesn't matter how much you try, right? There will always be someone who don't want to align with it. There will always be people who will say that this doesn't work for me, right? I think everyone knows in this world, everyone knows we have to go to gym, we have to do exercise, we have to do jogging, we have to do swimming or yoga to get ourselves fit. But I don't think there is more than 10% of the people who actually does it. Most of as a human being, we are actually lazy creature. We don't want to do it. So the same thing is applicable to your organization also. So there may be some who say that this doesn't work for me, I quit. So be ready for that. And sometimes you may have to lose your star performers also. Those star performers which were with your organization for so long, but this doesn't work for them. And you know that there will always be some people who are more of an individual contributor who want to be in a specific way. But here you all want me to do in a different way. So that this doesn't work for me. Finally, keep patience. It is going to take a long time, a long time. Initially you may have some early wins, but don't overwhelm by them, right? After the initial wins, there is going to be a big gap. There is going to be a real challenge. The challenge will start from the initial win. So I think for those who have been part of any kind of POC or greenfield project, the good thing about those POCs or the greenfield project is everyone in the organization wants that to successful, right? They have to make it successful so that they can go ahead with this initiative. The moment that greenfield or the POC becomes successful, and when it comes to the actual implementation, then that's where the challenge starts. The same thing is with you also. Whenever you may be doing that Scrum experiment within a team or two, that will work. People will give you a great feedback, right? The moment you start implementing it across the organization, that's where you hit the roof. That's where the challenge starts. But be patient. And finally, this is all about. It's still about us. It's still about you as a leader. Are you willing to unlearn the old ways and learn the new way? I think I don't know whether it's maybe in the Gunther's book or maybe I read it somewhere. So whenever we are talking about this agility or maybe Scrum, it's not about just overloading yourself with the new practices, new tools, or maybe new ways of working. Before that, actually, you have to brainwash. You have to wash out whatever you already know. It's more about unlearning the old ways and then learning new ways. Right. So that's all I have. And this is more of a recap. I didn't added many items. So we discussed about it. Leadership is inbuilt into Scrum, right? The product leadership, technology leadership, right? The process leadership. But just those three leadership may not be enough. We need a leadership which within which these three leadership can grow. As a leader, it's more about unlearning the old way and learning the new ways. Some of the suggested books which may help you, right? This is all about me. Question, comment. I don't use the word question, comment. Let's have a conversation or discussion if you have anything. And I cannot have a discussion or conversation within a black boxes with some text on it. So we need faces for that. Yeah,
Uh,
Chad.
I have a question about the agility is cannot be outsourced. Yeah, I know that it's likely kind of the inbuilt capability for the organization or for the team. But in some situation when we are running Scrum, yeah, it's likely that we don't have sufficient developer that we may need to get in some of the contractor or consultant in this way. So yeah, it's yeah, if spending a long time on that, they could still doing part of the they can achieving some of the Scrum outcome, but just a little bit hesitations on that. Yeah, Scrum cannot be outsourced in long term. So how do you view on
Okay.
this?
Yeah, sure. So there are two things, Chad, here. The very first thing, as I said, with due respect to all those people, right? When we are talking about those agile coaches and consultants, we need them. We need them for the initial handholding. We may or may not have that expertise within our organization. We need those people to come and train us on that. That is one. Second is when we are the second part you mentioned, when we are talking about maybe as an organization we don't have that expertise, maybe in a specific skill, maybe testing, develop coding, or any UX. We bring those people from outside to our organization. We may have outsourced to it, right? But as in a team, when we talk about agility, agility is not about an individual. We as in a team we are becoming an agile, right? So I'm not saying that we cannot have people from external people as a part of team. We can have. The point of the focus of that slide was maybe putting it on those people. Hey, now we have hired you, now you will make us agile. That doesn't work, right? We have hired you, you are part of our team. As in a team we are going to succeed, right? It's not that we have outsourced the work to you. Now now you guys will do it yourself. That doesn't work. And same goes for those coaches also. We have hired in a few coaches from a big consulting companies, and now they are going to make us agile. We don't have to do anything. We will continue doing the same way. That doesn't work. So even if you go start going to gym, right, it's not that you go to gym or maybe start doing yoga or exercise and you actually have to change your eating habits. You have to change your sleeping chain. Only then you can get benefit out of it. So you have to make a mix of both, and that's how what did I mean.